The unified kingdom of Israel has shattered. In an instant, the nation is plunged into a brutal civil war, and the man leading the charge against the crown is the king's own son. Absalom has successfully driven his father from Jerusalem, seizing the throne. Now, two massive armies are marching toward a collision in the ancient, rugged forests of Ephraim. As the loyalist troops deploy, King David issues an order that defies the established rules of ancient warfare. He gives a specific, highly irregular command regarding the enemy general. With a single sentence, this crisis shifts. A standard battle for the throne becomes a collision between the hard logic of survival and a father's contradictory decree. David tells his commanding officers, in front of the entire army, to deal gently with the young man, Absalom. David's focus is singular. Even with his throne at stake, he refuses to address a rebel commander. He addresses a son. This directive is rooted in his own history. David remembers Uriah and Bathsheba, inviting this cycle of violence into his home. He views sparing Absalom as a way to halt that cycle, managing his spiritual debt by extending leniency to his failure. David is fighting a two-front war, the rebel army in the forest and the echoes of his past. Out in the physical battlefield, human military strategy dissolves. The outcome of the clash is dictated by a sovereignty David cannot control. The loyalist forces crush the rebellion, leaving 20,000 dead. Yet swords and spears account for only a fraction of the casualties. The rugged terrain of the forest itself acts as an active agent of destruction. Amidst the chaos of this rout, Absalom's vanity, the physical pride he was known for across Israel, becomes the exact instrument of this ruin. As he rides a mule under a massive oak, his thick hair whips into the jagged branches. The animal runs out from under him, leaving the rebel prince suspended and helpless between heaven and earth. Human pride cannot outmaneuver this judgment. Justice operates with absolute precision here, entirely independent of the king's plea for mercy. The rebellion is decapitated, the remaining forces scatter, and the immediate threat to David's throne is gone. To the ancient military mind, this is an unquestionable victory. The enemy commander is dead, and the rightful order is restored. Miles away from that forest, David sits in the shadows of a mud-brick watchtower, removed from the action, waiting for a runner. The army celebrates a kingdom saved, while the king waits in silence, dreading the price of that safety. The runners reach the city gates. The battle is won, but Absalom has fallen. Instead of ascending to his throne, David is seen ascending to the chamber above the gate to weep in absolute agony. He cries out for the son who tried to kill him, wishing he could have died in the place of the traitor. This mourning upends the expectations of his court. David prioritizes the life of the rebel over the triumph of the crown, introducing a mercy that the laws of war cannot explain. David's reaction creates a pattern that extends beyond this specific war. His desire to take the penalty for his enemy suggests a heart that values the rebel more than the rebellion's defeat. This mirrors a larger character, a heavenly father who pursues a humanity that has actively turned against him. The justice seen in the forest is real, the penalty for rebellion is absolute. But David's grief reveals a plan that absorbs that penalty through an act of substituting love. The ultimate message of this narrative is found in the king's cry. It points toward a God who does more than just judge the rebel. He is a God willing to take the rebel's place.